John Laurinaitis, Big Johnny, is all about people power, but he says McMahon took all the power away from him, and he's just a bigger victim, as Janelle Grant. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. As Taz would say, just another victim. And according to John Laurinaitis, that's what he is in this whole case. He isn't guilty. He's not an abuser like McMahon. He's a victim like Janelle Grant. And we're going to look into the real truth today, and we're going to dissect it. We're going to break it down. We're going to give our honest opinions on whether John Laurinaitis has a case or whether he is full of fucking shit. So, well, we know McMahon's full of shit, but he likes to empty that shit. Is John Laurinaitis still full of his?
We'll have to find out, guys. I'm looking forward to talking about this. I love wading through shite, so I'm going to put my best hazmat suit on and wade through it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go. So we put up a poll. John Laurinaitis claims that he's a victim, just like Janelle Grant, and that he was also abused by Vince McMahon. What are your thoughts? Now, there was 4 options. The 4 options were bullshit. He is as guilty as Vince McMahon. He deserves the same support as Janelle Grant. Lies, both he and Janelle consented. And the last option was, what a mess, we need more info. So the last option is kind of like a shite bag option. If you don't really have an opinion, you can vote for that, and you can take the easy way out. So let's look at the first...
Hitler fence.
Let's look at the first 3 options. First option, really, people just saying that you're guilty, you're just as bad as McMahon, you went along with everything, you abused Janelle Grant, so that's that option, and obviously that was the majority. Second option, he deserves the same support as Janelle, so that's basically if you believe that John Laurinaitis is telling the truth, if you believe that John Laurinaitis could possibly be a victim, and that he was forced into this, he was pressurized into this, manipulated into this, just like Janelle Grant claims to be, yet for some reason, nobody decided to go with this. Pretty much 2% only think that he could be a victim just like Janelle Grant. And the third real option was lies. Both him and Janelle consented. So what took me back from this poll was that people automatically are just assuming that he is guilty. Right now, why? John Laurinaitis has came out. He's made a statement saying he's a victim. Just like Janelle Grant came out and made a statement she's a victim. So why is Janelle Grant getting the majority of the support? Why are people believing that she's an actual victim and not essentially a paid sex worker? Whereas John Laurinaitis claims the same thing, and people are just throwing him under the bus. People are saying, don't talk crap, man up, you're a grown man, you could have stopped at any time, as if McMahon forced you into this. You can use the exact same logic on Janelle Grant. So, in my opinion, if you're going to give Janelle Grant... It should be innocent until proven guilty, but with Janelle Grant, we've obviously seen, and with recent cases in the world in general, we've seen that is no longer how it works. We see now that if you accuse somebody of something, it's pretty much guilty until proven innocent. So if Janelle Grant can come out, make a statement against McMahon, and everyone's going to believe Janelle Grant, then surely the same logic and the same sort of energy should be used for John Laurinaitis, and people should be giving John Laurinaitis the benefit of the doubt. People should be saying that John Laurinaitis is a victim and McMahon abused him as well. But obviously, as we know, that's not the case, because only 2% of people voted for that.
Yep, and you know what? I'm going to tell you what I think here right now. I think they're both talking absolute shite. So I would nod towards the 13%. But the only problem
No, but let's not look at that right now.
I want to look at that right now. Well, why can't I look? I want to give my 2 cents.
You give your 2 cents in. That's all it's worth.
I think it's both. That's it. Probably one. Probably hee-haw, actually. I think they're both lying, right? But the only thing is, there's actual proof to back up Janelle Grant in terms of, well, the texts are there. Looks like she did consent. With John Laurinaitis, there's nothing.
That's what I said. I said, if anything, there's more of a case. John Laurinaitis has got more of a case for being a victim, because there's no proof that he consented or was willing to go along with anything.
Yeah.
There's no text messages that essentially back him into a corner with him agreeing to do this.
And also, we've been led our entire lives, right, to think that it would be much easier for men to manipulate women into these situations than, like, Vince to, like, force Laurinaitis. And to be honest, right, I believe for a second that John Laurinaitis was forced into these threesome, foursomes, fivesomes, sixsomes. You get the point, that's plenty. Do I believe that? No, not a fucking chance, right? There's no way in hell that John Laurinaitis was forced into these and he continued to work there. And Vince is like, God damn it, do it. I just can't see it.
Yeah, so see, some people will say, well, John Laurinaitis, there's no way he could be forced into it. He didn't need to show up to work every day. He didn't need to, continually put himself in that position. You can throw the exact same logic at Janelle Grant. She didn't need to
To quote the epic WJ Sean's Few Entertainment battle, neither did you. You didn't have to show up to work.
I mean, anything you can say about why John Laurinaitis isn't a victim, you can apply that same logic to Janelle Grant, but of course that isn't happening. People are just assuming John Laurinaitis is full of shit. And I think he is full of shit.
Intended.
But I will hold...
The buggy is bogged down in shite.
I will hold both parties accountable, and that's something that people don't want to do. They don't want to hold women accountable for their actions, and we're going to do that on this channel because we tell the truth. It's as simple as that. So, yeah, John Laurinaitis is full of shit. He could have walked away. If he was being forced into this, he could have said no. If it meant having to get a new job, he could have done that. He could have filed a complaint against McMahon himself. He could have been outspoken. He could have done something about this, but he didn't. Just like Janelle Grant didn't until the money stopped coming in. So we've got to look at this here. Both of these two were willing to go along with this. Both of these two, until recently, haven't said anything about this. Janelle Grant only complained when the money stopped coming in, and John Laurinaitis only changed his story when he decided that, he was potentially getting in deep trouble here and he had to try and wiggle his way out of it. So,
the thing I hate about these court cases, it's their lawyers that do the talking, right? Because it's all prepped and it's all written down and they make sure it's all nice and neat. I would actually like to hear Vince, Janelle Grant and John Laurinaitis and whoever else is involved in this fucked up story.
And no one else.
I want to hear it from the horse's mouth.
And a triple threat.
I don't want to hear woke or politically correct statements released by lawyers and attorneys. I want to hear it.
Yeah, because well, you're right. Essentially, when you get to court cases, like whatever Janelle Grant's saying or whatever John Laurinaitis is saying or whatever, they're being told to say that. That's what they're being advised to say. Yeah. That is statements that they've carefully thought out. There's nothing organic.
No, they've probably said to Laurinaitis here, McMahon's going down. It's probably best for you to throw him under the bus and claim that you're a victim.
100%. I think that would be the best thing to do. And Laurinaitis might...
What's McMahon been told? You're fucked. Welcome to hell, motherfucker.
But maybe like Laurinaitis lawyers have said, look here, if you don't turn on McMahon, he might turn on you. Or they might say, look, he's got a lot more money. He can take...
Yeah. He shot on you once, he'll shit on you again.
Or they might say, he can afford to take a hit with a lawsuit. He can afford...
You can't.
I mean, maybe John Laurinaitis, if he's getting sued for if McMahon gets sued for $5 million, it's going to hit John Laurinaitis a lot harder.
Aye.
You know what I mean? So, but yeah, for me, both lies. Both Janelle Grant and John Laurinaitis, right, consented. But I just do not see how you can view Janelle Grant from what we know right now as a victim, but say that John Laurinaitis is guilty. Because I'm holding them both accountable for their actions. Both had the chance to walk away. Both had the chance to say no. Both had the chance not to fucking show up and put themselves in that position, in that environment, on a daily basis, and they decided not to. The only real difference between them is we've seen text messages, if true, that Janelle Grant was consenting to this and happy to go along with this. We haven't seen any text messages yet from John Laurinaitis. So I don't know why. Well, I do know why, because it's the whole believe all women bullshit. And plus, John Laurinaitis, people don't like him because he's a McMahon guy. If you replace John Laurinaitis with, let's say, Triple H, I wonder if people would hold the same sort of energy, or would people be willing to give Triple H a lot more benefit of the doubt? I think the latter for sure.
Yeah, I think the latter for sure. And not the reality is with these situations, it's always the guy who's most powerful that gets absolutely everything pinned on him at the end of the day. And I think with Laurinaitis, there's going to probably be more names that come out for this. Brock has been mentioned. Brock is the former UFC heavyweight champion. He got sent a video. Brock's not going to do what Laurinaitis did. Brock's going to fucking say it as it is. I don't think Brock's going to even hire an attorney. I think Brock's just going to go and hit him with an F5.
Before we move on to the comments, what's your final thoughts on the percentages of these polls? And do you think that the 2% for John Laurinaitis seems extremely low, considering how much support and outrage people have had over Janelle Grant?
Yeah.
Are we going to see any hashtags support fucking John Laurinaitis
But see,
on Twitter?
Yeah, but no, that's the. But the problem with it is, it's like Laurinaitis, right? I know what we're going for here. It's like we have to. If we're believing all women, you have to believe all men, and all that good stuff. We're all equal here on this planet. But we are everyone. The problem is with Laurinaitis, he doesn't have much of a case to back up because we all know it's fucking bullshit. We do. We can pretend that we've got to believe him like Janelle Grant, but it's all bullshit. But there ain't no. But the thing is, she's got the consenting text message. They're both. They're both bastards.
Spit out a sentence, Jesus Christ!
They're throwing McMahon. I can't take it. McMahon, this guy, this fucking legend.
No. I think it was all consensual, and because she never got the money, she's fucked McMahon up, and because John Laurinaitis think there's a good chance he's going down with the ship, he's like, nah, I'm jumping off. No, what it's like? It's like there's fucking Titanic is sinking, but there's only one lifeboat and one seat, and John Laurinaitis isn't giving McMahon a chance to sit on it.
Aye.
You know what I mean? They're both captains of the ship, and they both could go down, but John Laurinaitis is like that guy that fucking, you know, the shite bag that just jumps on.
Aye.
And he shouldn't, it's like, well, women and children only, but the man just jumps. That's, for me, that's John Laurinaitis. But I'm on about
You've got the touch.
I'm on about the percentage of the polls. Do you think it's very skewed? Are you not surprised how only 2% can believe that John Laurinaitis deserves the same support as Janelle when he is claiming to be a victim? What is the difference? I'm saying he is claiming to be a victim just like Janelle Grant is claiming to be a victim, yet only 2% of people believe he deserves the same support. I think that's fucking mental.
I think it is mental.
Now, if it was a situation where it was two women involved and the other woman was like a long-term McMahon employee, would that 2% be changing to, let's say, 68% that the top option got?
It'd be near enough the top one, I think.
So, for me, it's crazy. And I do believe that Laurinaitis is full of shit, but I also believe that Janelle Grant's full of shit. But I think it's just the context. For me, if you're willing, it's supposed to be innocent until proven guilty, but in this case, if you're willing to believe the supposed and alleged victim, Janelle Grant, then why are you not willing to believe the supposed alleged victim, John Laurinaitis?
It's sad that I think there's more chance of Chris Benoit getting in the Hall of Fame than I think McMahon has got of getting out of this and coming back to the company in any capacity. I'm not even joking. I believe that. Believe that. Do you believe that?
Believe that.
Well, do you?
Roman Reigns? Probably. It's not looking good for McMahon. You know what?
Roman Reigns. It's not about fucking Benoit.
I know, but that was his catchphrase.
I know, but I think McMahon's humped.
This won't go to court. I think this will be settled outside.
Yeah, but the damage is done. I'd actually rather it go to court.
Yeah, because if you
If he pays him off, it looks like he's guilty.
Yeah, but these guys can't win. What I've said is, I think, see if you're claiming, alleging that you've been abused, see if you accept money without going to court, I think that you should have to accept that you lied. Even though that would obviously breach the whole getting money, getting the payout thing. But I think if you're willing to accept compensation, then you should have to accept that the claims that aren't legit, aren't true.
Obviously, you didn't write the court laws, did you?
Well, obviously I didn't, but for me it's just, it's
what
fucking...
we need to phone Saul Goodman, get him out of jail, and get him in Vince McMahon's pocket.
Better call Saul. Anyway, let's see. User said the WWE, TKO and NXT should put a restraining order against those that conspired with Vince McMahon to do the crimes he's accused of to never come back to the WWE or TKO or NXT ever again. I mean, you can say that, but for me, I don't give a fuck who owns WWE. WWE will always be Vince McMahon's creation.
Yes.
And I think the guy's always welcome back there whenever he wants.
That's my opinion.
But he won't be back. But
here, Triple H, if he takes The Rock out and puts Cody back in, then he's not guilty.
User, I do not condemn those that allowed Vince's bad behaviour to go on as long as it has for a long time. They need to be convicted and kicked out of WWE forever. So I'm assuming you mean guys like Bruce Pritchard and guys like John Laurinaitis and Kevin Dunn and people like that. Surely you don't mean Triple H and Shawn Michaels as the good bookers of today.
The great bookers, the chef hats, the cooks.
Again, John Laurinaitis is guilty. So John Laurinaitis is as guilty as Vince McMahon. He should be tried and convicted like Vince. They did it to themselves. That scarred the WWE. Convicted of what, though?
Yeah.
He's claiming that he was abused and he was controlled by McMahon into doing this, just like Janelle Grant is. So why is John Laurinaitis an abuser and Janelle Grant's a victim?
Because he's a man.
No, outside of the gender, what's the difference? Apart from Janelle Grant was actually seen in text messages.
He was a part of McMahon's booking team that booked some bad wrestling decisions.
This is crazy. I mean, it's fucking messed up, man. People need to hold the same energy, hold people accountable. Literally just condemning someone as guilty because they're a male and automatically giving someone victim card status because they're female. That's insane. By God, Vince literally took a shite on a woman's head. You trying to tell me he didn't consent and was told to do what to do? Sorry, but if my boss said, here is a gorgeous girl, take a shit on her, I'd say, I'll push your shit back in and ram your fucking job, you sick old bastard. Alright, by God, right, that's a fair comment, right, and we actually agree, right, we're not saying that John Laurinaitis couldn't do that, we're not saying that John Laurinaitis couldn't defend himself and say no, but so could Janelle Grant.
Both could say no.
So...
If Laurinaitis, right, can turn around and say, I'm not doing that, Vince, then Janelle Grant can turn around and say that.
He didn't constant? What?
Consent.
Yeah, so, I mean, come on.
Come on, people.
If John Laurinaitis was told what to do, then Janelle Grant was told what to do. It's as simple as that. Board now said, no idea, would need more info. The timing makes me suspicious, though. A man in his position could have spoken out about this years ago. Think he may be grabbing spotlight. Also, the sort of abuse he's talking about probably isn't as bad. So you don't think he got shit on then?
So we don't think Laurinaitis got shot on?
Aye.
Yo, whatever he got shot on. Wait, so what, shot on literally or shot on?
Shot on literally, I'm assuming.
I don't know. I'd need to work out the positions. Which I don't even want to think of. So I don't fucking know. I mean, come on, man. We're not. What is Laurinaitis going to actually sign off on that? Is he going to actually sit in court and swear on a stack of Bibles that Vince McMahon shot on him?
Don't know. Nick said people power. Self-care said white power. Alright, okay, let's take a turn for the worst here. By God said the power of water is shite. Fair enough. Joe Mixon, he's given the same excuse the Nazis used. I was just following orders. But the crazy thing is, he may actually have a case with McMahon legally. If Vince was the one who initiated the sexual misconduct and insisted that Johnny Ace must participate and would actually be a witness for Miss Grant, would virtually ensure that Vince would be liable and perhaps could set up actual criminal charges on Vince. Thoughts on this comment for Joe Mixon?
Well, he's right. If Janelle Grant's attorney and her side can get Johnny Ace on board, and he can, I mean, it would just.
So is Janelle Grant's best chance of winning this actually retracting her statement and taking out the John Laurinaitis part?
Probably, yeah.
Because John Laurinaitis came out and says that it's misled, it's misguided, her statement.
But then what about all the other people? See if Johnny Ace jumps ship, which it looks like he's already doing, it just takes you to get the rest of them on board. Yeah, it's not looking good for Vince. What he said there, it sounds like the plot of a TV show. It does. It sounds like, we need to work together to bring him down, sort of thing. And that's what could happen.
Could be.
Laurinaitis could think, you know what, actually, I could get a good payout out of this.
He could do.
Free my name.
John Rodriguez says, don't care if he's innocent or not, don't want both of these bozos back in WWE ever. So pretty much saying, look, I hope you're guilty, even though you might not be, because I don't like your booking. So that's pretty much what it is. Disagree, enjoyer. I hope they never get back into the wrestling business at all, but with our luck, Tony Khan will hire them. Speedy Gonzalez, cooking up burgers and catering. Fat Dyke, wrestling is dead anyway, so who cares? I mean, it's hard to disagree with that.
It's actually quite incredible what's happened this turn of the year.
John Rodriguez said, Vince and Johnny are all late. Disagree, enjoyer says, maybe to you. Disagree. No, it's not maybe to you. Wrestling is fucking dead, alright? It is dead. We hear these lies all the time that we're in a boom period right now. What? A boom period?
What, in controversy?
So bad, man. WWE Raw can't get ratings that they're having to go to a Netflix streaming fucking platform.
Yeah.
That's going to be the end of Monday Night Raw. Fat Dyke said, how is wrestling not dead? No star power, non-existent ratings, and relying on Saudi money to stay afloat. I mean, that's kind of true. The Superior Nerd said, Cap and Super Manga Cap, all lies. Vince is doomed, so is his allies. Vince deserves more prison time. And that seems to be it then, guys.
I just don't see how Vince does do jail time. I think it'll just be a settlement, like you said.
Yeah, I think this will get settled out of court.
That's what happens.
So we will see.
And that's even if Laurinaitis does jump ship. He will simply just pay him off and Janelle Grant.
But for me, John Laurinaitis is done with McMahon. I mean, he's probably thought, look, McMahon's never going to be back in WWE. I've always kissed his arse. I've always been a yes man. But at this point, like, what benefit does that serve me? And it just goes to show that when someone thinks they can no longer use you, they will dispose of you. And that's what John Laurinaitis, in my opinion, has done here.
Yeah.
If McMahon was still in charge, and if McMahon was still the owner, I think John Laurinaitis would probably still be on Team McMahon here. But McMahon's resigned, McMahon's stepped away, McMahon's not coming back. John Laurinaitis is thinking, you know what, it absolutely serves me no benefit by trying to side with McMahon, so I'm gonna side with the woman who everyone's already believing.
Laurinaitis could be giving up a lot more than McMahon. We don't know who else is involved. I mean, he could give up like Triple H and Stephanie New. Like, say you came out of the They New, that's going to open a whole new can of worms.
Yeah, how much?
There's no way Triple H didn't know, man.
Yeah, but hold on. What if Triple H knows and it's like, see her in there, see her, she sleeps with McMahon to try to get ahead and to get a job here. Big fucking deal.
But they'll spin it.
No, but big deal.
They'll spin it and shaft big nose.
Hold on, let's be fucking honest here, because that's what we do in this channel. Are you telling me that doesn't happen in almost every line of work? Are you telling me there aren't women that are, like, not, like, underqualified and, like, are in roles that they don't necessarily deserve, but they're there because they're sleeping with the boss or they're sleeping with someone in power? And people in the office don't know that?
Yeah, of course.
Well, how'd she get into this position? How'd she get the same pay as you and all that? And she's, like, underqualified. You know, I mean, that happens all the time. So, I mean, Triple H could have known that McMahon was sleeping with this Janelle Grant. Doesn't mean Triple H deserves to be released.
I'm not saying that.
Doesn't mean Triple H deserves to go to prison or deserves to be taken down. And I'm saying that as a guy that thinks Triple H is booking his WWE.
Yeah, but if McMahon got convicted of all this, and Triple H did know, that would be bad for him.
Well, there is one person on the side of Vince McMahon, and that is Tristan Tate. He came out and said this whole thing is bullshit, and that somehow giving a woman a job these days is considered sex trafficking. So I think the whole sex trafficking thing is ridiculous to people that are actually being sex trafficked from, like, third world countries.
Yeah.
This is a woman that voluntarily turned up to her work every day and put herself in this position. So it couldn't be that bad.
Aye.
Who turns up? Who turns up with in their own with their own will to get raped every day? Who does that?
No one.
See, if it's between turn up and get raped or get a new job, like, everyone would just get a new job.
Aye.
So why can't we just fucking call out the bullshit here and call it for what it is? All right, bullshit. But we'll see what happens. McMahon, it's not looking good for him. I don't know how it's looking good for John Laurinaitis. I mean, in the eyes of the public, people are going to think he's pathetic and people are going to think that he's full of shit. But he might have, he might have took the only turn here that could potentially save his ass.
Yeah, Big John, what's he done?
I've also heard rumours that maybe John Laurinaitis thought that McMahon would pin this all on him. And therefore he's
jumped first?
He's jumped first, so to speak.
No, I don't think McMahon's like that.
No, I don't think McMahon's like that.
Big John's like that.
It was me all along.
It was my shit.
I don't think McMahon would let John Laurinaitis take the blame. No. McMahon's going to come out and say he was controlled by John Laurinaitis. I reckon McMahon would rather spend every fucking remaining day of his life behind bars than come out and pretend that somebody was controlling him and dominating him.
Yeah.
I mean, McMahon, wouldn't they come out and be as pathetic as John Laurinaitis?
I now own John Laurinaitis.
You know? Yes. Nah, but I mean, I think McMahon's too prideful for that.
Yeah.
Why can't people just take accountability for their actions? Like, see if you make a mistake or if you fuck up, if you were pressured into something, just admit, yeah, I made a mistake, yeah, I went along with that when I should. We've all done it. I mean, I can think of things that I shouldn't have done, but I done, and I done it for someone's sake. Well, and not necessarily because I was pressured into it, but sometimes you do things for people because, not even being manipulated, but sometimes you just do things for people and then you think about it and go, no, I probably shouldn't have done that.
Everyone does stuff they regret. Although, I've never been shat on, so...
No, I've never been shat on either. Although I did notice True Geordie made a video on this, and I'll be interested to see what his opinion is.
He likes shite.
He is the expert. Anyway, guys, that's it.
Being caked in shite.
We're going to leave it here. We'll see what happens. But yeah, no looking good for Vince McMahon. Still don't think this will go to court. What I think will happen is I think there'll be a settlement, and this will probably just die down. But for me, I just can't see McMahon. Even if it does die down, I just don't really see McMahon coming back. I think there's too much. If it was like without TKO, then absolutely, I could see him coming back in. Maybe in a year's time, come back through the door. But for me, this is McMahon done. I think the last time we seen him on TV, it was almost like it seemed like a farewell anyway.
Yeah, it's done.
The way he walked out and jumped off the steps and all that stuff. That's it, guys. Catch you in the next one. Till then, though, peace.